Good afternoon, Chris Whelan here from Chris Whelan Coaching and the Wellington Centre of Business Excellence. I want to talk to you today about why growth creates more pressure. Imagine the situation. You win the biggest contract in the history of your business. It's got good margin, a good client, and enough work to keep the team busy for the next 12 months. So you hire 2 people to handle the growth. 6 months later, though, you are more stretched than you were before the contract arrived. More involved in the day-to-day, more questions coming back to you, more pressure sitting on your shoulders. That sounds backwards, right? But it is one of the most common growth problems I see in owner-led businesses. More work simply did not fix the capacity problem. It revealed one. When a business hits a capacity ceiling, most owners respond in the same way. Take on the work, hire more people, push the team harder, keep going. And for a while, that can appear to work. Then the hidden costs start showing up. New people need onboarding. They need decisions made. They need priorities set. They need someone to review their work and answer their questions. If the owner is still the person who makes the decisions, particularly the important ones, manages the team, protects the quality, every new hire adds work to the owner before they add capacity to the business. The business gets bigger, absolutely. The owner gets busier. The team gets more dependent on the owner to keep the whole thing moving. That right there is the capacity ceiling. It's not simply a headcount problem. It's a structural problem. And here's the uncomfortable part. More people can only create more capacity when the business is structured to make those people effective. Headcount is not capacity. Productive output inside a clear operating structure is capacity. Now that distinction matters. A person without a defined role does not know where their responsibility starts or where it stops. A person without decision authority waits for approval. A person without a clear process relies on whoever happens to know how the work is done to tell them. Similarly, a person without a manager brings people questions back to the owner. Right? None of those problems mean the new person is poor. Absolutely not. They mean that the business has added resource without adding the structure that turns resource into performance. And picture an owner who hires 2 project coordinators because the existing team just can't keep up with delivery. The work's there, no question of it. But the first month is spent answering basic questions. Which jobs take priority? Who can approve a variation? What does a complete handover look like? When should a client issue be escalated? The owner answers each question individually because there's no shared framework for answering them. The 2 hires are busy, no question of it, but the owner is still the operating system because the owner has solved the headcount problem and intensified the decision problem. Excuse me. The new people don't need more pressure. They need a clearer structure around them. Once the problem is clear, there are, I think, 3 legitimate responses. Number 1, or first, hire more people now, right? So you've got this capacity issue, hire more people now. That makes sense when the demand is proven, the role is clear, and someone other than the owner can manage the new people. Second, build the structure before adding the headcount. You can clarify the roles, clarify the decision rights, the priorities, the onboarding, and that sort of thing, so the next person can become productive. And then third, you could sequence or reduce demand. So stop accepting every opportunity, prioritize the most valuable work, or stage new contracts while the business catches up. Now, none of those responses is automatically right. The choice depends on the constraint, on the economics, and the business's ability to absorb change. My recommendation for most owner-led SMEs in this position is option 2. Build the minimum structure before approving the next hire. Run a capacity readiness review on the area under pressure. Identify the owner decisions, the missing role clarity, the process, the priority, management layer, that sort of thing. Fix the most consequential gap and then decide whether another hire is still required. There's not an argument against hiring, absolutely not. It's how you make a hire more likely to create capacity rather than more work for you. Excuse me. The capacity and resource system is about more than how many people are on the payroll. It's the way the business allocates time, allocates people, attention, and work. A structurally ready business has at least 4 things in place. First, role clarity. Each role has a clear purpose, outputs, boundaries, authority. Right? Second, a prioritization method. The team can decide what matters most without the owner acting as the human triage. And then third, an onboarding path. A new person can become productive without the owner personally carrying every step. And we've seen examples of that. And then fourth, a management layer, someone other than the owner who can lead, support, and develop the team. And of course, the delivery system matters as well. The work needs repeatable processes and visible standards, so new people are not learning through preventable mistakes. And unfortunately, they can be expensive. So I've said delivery. Decision system also matters. People need to know which decisions they own, which decisions require consultation, and which decisions must be escalated, right? Without those systems, growth increases coordination faster than it increases output. A business ready to grow is not a business with no pressure. It's a business with enough structure to absorb the pressure without sending all of it to the owner. Now, look, priorities are visible. Roles are understood. New hires have a defined path to productivity. Managers handle the people questions. The owner reviews capacity and resource allocation without making every call personally. That is the difference between being ready to grow and being ready to get busy or busier. They're not the same thing. So here's the question I want you to sit with. If your revenue doubled next year, what would break first? Delivery, decision making, management capacity, cash flow, or your own ability to keep coordinating everything, keep all those balls juggling in the air? Do not start by asking how many people you need to hire. Start by asking what must be true for the people you already have and the people you're about to hire to become genuinely effective. Choose one recurring question that keeps coming back to you. Build a role, build the decision rules, the processes or management layer that should answer it instead of you answering it. If you want to see the 7 systems that make a business less dependent on the owner, download the 7 systems guide. Give me a shout. I can send it to you if you haven't downloaded it already. And if the growth is already creating more pressure than momentum, the link below in how to start a strategy conversation, just give me a shout and we can have this conversation with you. I'm Chris Whelan and this is the Self-Managing Business. All the best. Cheers.